Hello, world, and welcome back. Oh, sorry. This is Ryan, aka Crownson's Corner. This is the Healing Chefs podcast, and today we have at MDMAQ nailed it. Or as more and more people are knowing her as Manic Candice from Manic Candice podcast. Manic Candice.
Hi everyone, so good to be here. Thanks for inviting me. It's good to be here.
Awesome. Thank you very much for coming out. And we're very excited that you're here. And we're going to go ahead and jump into it. He's going to play this little clip real quick. It is Cannabis Journey.
Nice.
Yeah, just whenever. So Cannabis Journey is all about how you found cannabis. And
Do you really want to know how I found cannabis?
we all want to know. Because here's the thing. I want to explain this podcast. Number one, I'm a chef. If you guys don't know, you have to go to at my Crowns and Corner thing. It's tagged throughout it. Like, go check out my stuff. But I am a chef. But this is like everyone in their lives are chefs and stuff like that. All it is chef means chief means leader. So
I like that.
Yeah, everyone's a healing chef around here.
I like that because I'm definitely not a cook.
But yeah, we want to hear. And the whole thing about this is like I know like my color red. I want to know what you see because I like you don't see the same color as me.
Well, how I found cannabis was through a friend. I was in how old was I? 12.
Okay.
13.
Yeah.
I was in the west side of Phoenix. That's where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for the Kush. That's what they called it back then. So
damn, you skipped Reggie altogether.
Yeah, so I was looking.
Lucky duck.
These kids who were selling Reggie were like, "This girl wants some Kush." Well, I got some Reggie. She doesn't know the difference. So this was back then when you would buy nicks, dimes,
20 sack.
yes,
dub
dub sacks, and you would like measure them with your fingers in the Ziploc bag.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember those days. And you used to walk down the neighborhood and meet with your guy, or it's not the guy, it was like the kid.
Yeah.
10 grades, like in the 10th grade. So I met up with these kids.
The kid that's always had a mustache since like
yeah, and he's got a tattoo. You don't know how he's got the tattoo.
He smoked cigarette and he's already been fired from 3 jobs.
Yeah, I skipped the first period. Yeah, so that kid, I met up with him. He gave me my first sack of weed, and we smoked it out of I think a foil pipe.
Man, we were like tying it all in.
We were.
Yeah, that was my first too.
Yeah. It took a couple tries. I mean, we didn't break it down. We didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah, you're smoking like
all of a sudden. I'm reliving the day before. I'm like telling my friend like this happened yesterday. No, this happened yesterday. I'm like finishing sentences. It was awesome, and then it was over. And then it just never stopped. Here we are. I'm on a podcast about weed.
Yeah, right. So you started with the flower and stuff. Did you like do you like eat edibles? Do you smoke flower now?
The first time I ate it, I don't remember. So that should be a good thing.
Okay.
But like now I'm really picky with brands. I'm really picky if it's like made with concentrate, if it's made with flower. I think it comes from me bud tending.
Okay.
And just knowing about the industry, just knowing how it affects me.
You want to speak a little bit about your experience in the industry?
Sure. So shout out to Nirvana Center.
Shout out.
That's
they're
where
even doing cookies and stuff. Shout out Dingles and stuff out there.
For sure. They're doing their thing.
Yeah, I'll be gaming with Dingles here and there.
Cool. So I started out in 2018 in the industry at Nirvana Center, and they had their first market. And I asked them, can I paint at the market? Because I'm a painter. This is where I kind of like tied in the whole art with the cannabis industry, the local industry in the state. So I've been live painting and like doing things here and there, and it started at Nirvana Center. So
nice.
I would sell, I mean, back when Big Bros was their original brand, I mean, like I was selling weed basically, but not forgetting that what I was doing, I wasn't taking it for granted. You know, there was people in prison for doing what I was doing. The only difference is a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I started a business called Puff Pass Paint Party, where people could come and paint with me. I would draw on the canvas. I would get sponsorships from different companies like Raw, Pure Earth, the different locals, and it was a fun time.
Nice. Yeah.
I want to bring it back, but I want to do it bigger and better. So
Okay.
finding a venue is a challenging thing. So if you're listening and you want to get in the cannabis industry, like bringing up a venue where people could smoke weed, that's the biggest need right now.
Yeah. Have you have you talked have you ever can I use words? Checked out Pause Consumption?
Pause consumption? No.
Yeah, check them out. We had um Allison on here. She was in regards to like pause and stuff. Like I need to make a lot more clips and stuff. But
Yeah.
that
Hey, at least you have video. I'm just on Spotify and
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts. I'm just pure audio.
Hey, we all start somewhere and got to do something, and
Yeah.
I'm just like intense with everything I do. So
Okay, that's a good thing. It's a really
yeah,
good thing.
and to be honest, yet again, shout out to Habari, because like without them, you got everyone like thinks like without them, I wouldn't really be. I mean, I'd probably be doing similar stuff like you or other people and stuff off of my phone and stuff. So I mean, yeah, but it's I do a lot of the editing and stuff on my own and stuff like that. That's what
I don't take the time to edit. I just go raw dog it.
yeah.
Yeah, voice memos. I do like a enhance, the little like ellipses, enhance the audio, and then I just upload it. I don't.
Well, I mean, I just upload the podcast stuff, but like I do the editing of making like the different clips and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. So you're not like going in and like taking out words.
No.
Okay.
No,
Some people do that.
Yeah, a lot of people do that because they want this like streamlined, real like like whatever. Like I will leave like any like mishaps or anything that ever happens in there because this is all about being imperfect. So why am I gonna try to like fake the funk and show you guys me perfect, which is a lie? Like I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right.
Yeah. So and that's weed. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to smoke, but I can't smoke right now. But
so how did you like get introduced to cannabis?
Oh, so it was about the same age, and I was
12, 13.
Yeah. And I was like, I think I was going to Deer Valley Middle School at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, and we went to like I don't know if it was a ditch party or it was a weekend or something. It was pretty crazy. Like I showed up and they were like drinking the soda squirt and gin out of a fucking 2-liter bottle. I hit that a couple times. And then they're like, we're all gonna go smoke weed. And then like 13 of us like ran outside into the circle and they had like the aluminum weed pipe.
Yeah.
And the one in charge of it, like, I don't know, maybe I've always been the guy that people are like, I don't know, I don't like him for some reason. I just don't like, and he was like trying to corner the bowl where I didn't get anything. I'm like, fucking light the thing. And I finally lit it and I hit it, and I was gone. I was like, and then I had to make it home. So, but I didn't know what was hitting me.
I had to make it home.
I didn't know what was hitting me because like the alcohol was hitting, and I never smoked weed before. So I had to skateboard home.
Oh.
Yeah.
You could have gotten a DUI.
Okay. I'd be fast as fuck, boy. Oh no, like I was jumping, like running across highways, jumping fences and stuff. I was a wild one. But then I skated home, and to be honest, like I blacked out. Like I have no idea how I got home. But when I got home, luckily earlier in the day, I had like sinus issues because my eyes were blasted.
Did you say you were a problem child?
Yeah.
Me too.
My eyes were blasted, and I walked in the house, and my dad was just getting home from work. He's like, "Why are your eyes so red?" And immediately my stepmom had said, "Oh, he's been having allergy problems all day." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to my room." And I immediately just took out to the room. I'm like, "What?" And my stepmom never stuck up for me, so I was like, "That was crazy, but I'm gonna take this for a win."
That is weird because I never liked my step parents growing up.
Stepdad, awesome. Stepmom, not awesome.
I just never liked them. I'm very territorial, and I'm
Okay.
an only child, so a little about me.
Makes sense then. A little more.
My mom's wallet was always my wallet.
Okay.
So anyone coming in,
so you owned everything.
Yes, basically. So anyone coming in threatening that with marriage licenses.
Ooh,
that's a little much.
You're dating your mom.
That was a little much. I wasn't dating her mom. I was dating her pockets.
No,
like,
I know, but like.
But like when you're an only child, you don't know it better.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm saying this on a growth trajectory as if I know better now that my mom's money is not mine.
Yeah.
So I know that now. But like growing up, it was like, oh, you want to be.
That's the norm.
It's the norm. So it's like once my mom got married and I started driving up to the house, seeing new trucks, trailers. My stepdad's got a bow and arrow. I'm like, what the fuck are you? But he could smoke weed all day. And it was a double standard. So like, but him smoking weed all day made it okay for my mom for me to smoke weed all day. So she got off my back when she was like married, which is the weird part.
The dynamics of being human.
Because like growing up, like weed. Because here's another thing about the aspect of me growing up and just me in general. My mom is a federal officer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew the law growing up. I knew that, number one, if I got in trouble, she wasn't going to help me. And number two, I'd embarrass her at the precinct, depending on what crime it was. If it was a federal crime, I would embarrass her. All the judges know her. She's nearing her retirement. She's got 1 year left as an officer. But like, there's a lot of integrity in her name, you know. And if one of her only child fucks up, excuse my French, and like gets arrested for a marijuana charge, that's embarrassing, you know.
Yeah. Then her whole life is yeah. But that's what. But that's like what they
her
do.
Whole view on marijuana is so fucked up because like I can't do it. None of her defendants can do it. Her husband can do it, and she's fine.
It's when it's in your own home and you guys are like letting the shit happen. And it's like it's
when it's your own child. It's almost like when people are LGBT supportive until it's their own child.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of that different thing, a lot of stuff like that. Everyone wants to be like there's the savior, but no one really wants to be the martyr. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I grew up with my grandma trying to be the martyr. She always tried to take the burnt piece or something like that. But I love my grandma. There was never a burnt piece, so I don't even know what I'm talking about.
I love my grandma too.
She would be like, I miss her. That she's the one who got me into cooking, so that being a chef and whatnot. So yeah.
Tell me about that. Like, did it start off with like what type of food did it start off? Was it like main dishes, side dishes, baking?
Oh, my grandma used to do everything. So my fondest memories were like and well, we can jump into this, but one of my fondest memories is like breakfast with her. And it wasn't even that she was making anything great. It's just like she had the like easy listening music on.
Okay.
Like food's cooking. The coffee, I could smell the coffee. I didn't drink coffee as a kid, but it's like a soothing kind of smell. And then bacon's going and shit. And then she's like making everything perfect for me and everything. So it wasn't about what was on the plate. It was about all the care and love that she was putting into doing that action for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to recreate for other people. Like when I finally cook for people, I want you to know that I'm not just giving you food. I'm giving you a piece of me. Like I want you to like, I want this to replenish your soul. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah.
The hangover cure.
Yeah. But which is also fat and fried things. Real quick, we'll jump into our second segment, which is Trip Tales, all about psychedelics and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Well. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Fucking weeds hitting me. All right. So.
Did you eat something?
weed. No, like I smoked like when I was dancing around getting ready for the podcast. I turned music on and I'm just like smoking weed. It's like get into the flow state.
Oh, the flow state. I love how you said that.
Yeah.
Nice.
So speaking of which,
Yes.
Trip Tales is all about psychedelic experiences. Do you have any that you would like to share?
I have a DMT experience I'd love to share.
Oh yeah, run that because that shit's so scary.
So
DMT.
shout out to Misa White. Didn't mean to use your last name, but it's not your full name. She is she's somewhat of a shaman, a local shaman. So shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out.
She took a candle, lavender candle, Palo Santos. She burnt the Palo Santos in the candle and made a DMT cartridge. And she gave me the cartridge and she made sure that my environment was very safe because I never done DMT before, ever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I hit the cartridge like 3 times, like pretty harshly, and like everything's going womp womp womp.
Tell everybody the flavor of DMT real quick.
It tastes like fucked up eucalyptus.
Tastes like death.
Yeah, it tastes. Yeah, it's
like almost like maybe eucalyptus, maybe like burnt rubber,
burnt wood,
mothballs.
Yeah, it's not
bad breath.
good. There's no like terpene profile to
it's
DMT.
Literally tastes. I'm like this is what death tastes like.
Yeah, literally. No wonder the chemicals released when you die, supposedly. But I ripped it and I felt the Grateful Dead bears pulling me. And they were like, it's okay, because everything became dark.
Damn.
I was in another reality. Everything was dark. And like I remember like I could feel like my spirit was walking. And like they're like, it's okay, keep going. They weren't telling me I was dying. I think my ego was dying. But like they weren't telling me I was dying because I think they knew that if they said your ego is dying, I would freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
So and then there's this large anime character that appears. She told me her name was Erica, and that she was my guide. And that next thing you know, there's like this Harley Quinn character appearing, and she's very very small, and she just runs across the plane. Like the cartoon she is, and I just keep going and I keep going, and then there's Leonardo DiCaprio going like this, like cheers, you made it, like Wolf of Wall Street, and there's so much patterns. There's like it's like a casino, like slot machines, and like everything
fractals.
Everything is moving like a casino.
Yeah,
like Soul Train.
I feel like when that's happening, it's our brain trying to relate things that we've seen in our life to the fractals that are happening within whatever dimension we're at. I think it's us trying to relate it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then there was this male figure. And when I say male figure, I mean just that. There was no eyes. There was no like teeth.
You could just feel it.
You could see it too. It was like a cutout figure, and it was black and blue. It was like blue fire.
I understand what you're saying.
And he told me he was God.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, let's roll with this.
Right.
So,
all right, God, let's go do this.
Let's do this. He was dancing around. Like, he was like, do you know Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Yes.
He was like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've seen Flea live. Yeah. So, like, he was dancing like Flea.
So maybe that's an emotion that it was whatever entity was trying to show you. And again, that's how you relate your experience to what they're trying. So they're speaking telepathically to you, you think? And it's showing you things so you can understand because they don't have a language.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Okay,
and like when I got out of the trip, I asked my friend, my son, was like, was I speaking? Was I making noise? Was I doing anything?
Mm-hmm.
She was like, no. You were just sitting there still.
Yeah.
And then so I was like, wow. And then it was about 3 minutes long. And
crazy. But it felt like forever.
It felt like 15. And I could swear I was talking. But I will say, when I started to come back after that experience and try to do more DMT, I did have trips that were, I wouldn't classify them today as bad trips. I don't want to say any trip is a bad trip. I used to be someone who used to be like, no, don't do psychedelics because you'll see something bad. But like now that I've sat with it for years, this DMT trip that I'm about to tell you about, I think it's just shown me like don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know if you've like heard of the Jesters.
Yeah.
I've seen them.
Okay.
And like they played with me a little bit.
Yeah. So real quick, I've tried to do TMT allegedly twice.
Mm-hmm.
And each time there is something that in my subconscious, like kind of like would scare me.
Mm-hmm.
And it just amplified to 1,000. And I think it's the entities, the jesters way of going, you're not ready for this shit right now. And they're just like, we're just going to lay everything that's going to scare you away from, because I would get to a certain point, because there's like 3 points. Like there's one that you're like, shit start to fucking vibrate, the first like pull. Second pull, everything kind of turns into a cartoon or shapes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh no. And then you're supposed to hit it again, and then you go into the astral projection. I've always been stunted at the second stage. So, and they're just like, and then like whatever I don't like is just like all there. You're hot. Your paranoia is going, and I'm like, I'm gonna die or something right now. Yeah, it's so bad. Yeah. So what had happened with you?
What had happened with me is the jester started shooting at me from all angles. And I had a friend at the time that was threatening suicide if I didn't talk to him.
Oh.
So I think they were like playing along with that. And then they threw me in a room with my friend actually killing himself. And I'm like, what's the point of this? And they were like calling me Satan. And then like I wasn't Satan, but I could hear his thoughts. And he was telling me, you don't want to be me. 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 And I was like, he's a very sad person.
Yeah.
That's what I felt.
Yeah.
And then like so like I immediately got into this like carousel room, like a circus room with like the black and white, you know that clown art?
Yeah.
That dude. I was stuck in a room with him. Nothing but fractal patterns of black and white.
Yeah.
And it was like going like in a carousel. And it was like, oh sorry.
All right.
It was like going in like this. And like I couldn't do anything to get out of it. I get out of the trip. I just had to surrender.
Yeah.
And just sit there. And like his face was like right in front of me. Like just going like this, like trying to extract the energy of fear. I believe that whatever these entities are, they live off fear.
Yes, for sure.
And like whenever you are emitting that energy, your heart's pounding, like, you know, you have all that energy and you're not moving. They just suck it out of you.
Yep.
So I feel like whatever mindset you have going in or whatever you're doing behavior wise, like people know when they're doing bad. Whatever bad means. But like you could attract a jester who could show you about yourself.
Yeah. It's really crazy. Yeah. They show you stuff, but they show you like they know. So I feel like in the psychedelic realm, when you like kind of trip and go into these things, again, it's a way of the other side communicating with us because we have no language to be able to talk to. Like it's like how can like the entities talk to like me in the United States and then someone else and somewhere else or wherever that we're pretending to be? You know what I mean?
Believe these entities are trans, are interdimensional, not trans.
Yeah,
but like
they can be trans too.
They could. They could be trans. Sorry, entities.
Yeah.
But I believe that wherever they're at, they can observe us. That's how they know so much about us.
Yeah, because like just like doing like the dimensional thing from 1D to 2D to 3D and stuff like that. We can look down on 1D and everything. So definitely fourth and fifth dimension are looking down on us in time. as one, and they can see everything, and that's another thing that people are worried about when they do psychedelics and stuff. Like, it opens your mind and realize that, like, there's other entities that are out there that can see everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
At any point in time, so I don't know. That'll probably scare people with their privacy.
Well, but then another thing too is like, what makes them interested in fucking with us? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think you tapped into it. Maybe they're like they feed off of our fear. I watch a lot of conspiracy things, like the Y-Files and stuff.
The Wi-Fi.
I love it. It's just good.
Well,
I'll be sitting there eating like some lo mein, chow mein, whatever. I love that mang. But I'll be sitting there eating there. Oh man, I'm eating this shit like I'm eating up fucking some lo mein or some shit. Just
I
eating
will
up the
say that my
conspiracy.
favorite psychedelic is MDMA.
Okay.
The first time that I had, so let me tell you a little story. Back when I was in school, high school, there was no Molly. There was no capsule with brownish crystals. There was
my time. It was all the different colors.
Exactly. It was just a different color thizzle pills, pressed pills.
Fizz break.
And like, yes, there were things in there, and you didn't know exactly what was in it, but like, you had some form of ecstasy in there. Ecstasy, the methylamine 3-4, it's a real chemical. It's not meth.
Yep.
It's not MDA. It's not. It's MDMA.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've had it, it's a love drug, and it's a very fuzzy feeling. You want to hug everybody. It's not a party drug where you want to have sex with people, or I mean, it could lead to that, but it was mainly like, I love you, you're my friend, like let's love each other. Like it's very like
sharing electrons and shit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I call myself MDMAQ, because I used to roll a lot off of that and go home and do art.
That's funny, because I used to be a guy at one point in time, and I had the Skittles, and I was giving them out, shit like that.
Yeah.
And at one point in time,
Pokeballs.
Rest in peace, homie. Like, almost got popped and ate the bag, but so I had stopped too. But and at that point in time, I had a whole like a bat, like a rock, like a knot on me, right? And so I just sat home, and I think it was like Arkham Asylum had come out, the video game Batman. I was eating fucking pills and just, I'm Batman.
And then so awesome. Tyga and Trinidad James came out with their singles, and they both referenced Molly, and then people were curious about that. And then next thing you know, I never found a pressed pill on the market again.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in years.
I mean, you can find a blue, but nobody wants that.
No, I got somehow convinced to try that shit at one point in time, about died.
No, dude, you don't want to go down.
I already, like, I know.
I mean, it starts off. See, that's the thing about these drugs, like meth, heroin, blues.
I never wanted to be in the same room with the shit, so how did I try it? Is insane to me,
dude.
But it happens at the lowest times in your life. Mm-hmm. That's where the devil lies.
Yep.
Yes. So here's the thing. I heard this recently. I forgot who said it. Maybe it was, I forgot who it was. But they said, like, when the devil is not, you can't see the devil, it's because you're doing wrong. And when you're doing right, and the devil, like, the devil's on your back and you're hurting and stuff like that, it's because you're doing something right. If
at least you're trying.
Yeah. If you can't find the devil, it's because he's leaving you alone, because I already got that motherfucker right there. I ain't got to worry about you. But it's when you start doing right, and that motherfucker's like, hey, remember me? Yeah, remember, all that shit. So, speaking of which, we're going to go ahead and go to break, and then we're going to come back to mental health as well.
Nice.
All right. Welcome back. And we're going to go ahead and jump into mental health as well. I don't know. So, welcome to my world. I'm just randomly in the middle of the video playing, so everyone can hear what I just said. I was like, I'm gonna get violently high later. We'll be streaming. We'll get into the promo later. But anyway, so mental health is wealth is like we deal all with this, whether we've been addressing it on a daily basis or not.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about a little bit of how you handle things or things that have been coming up with you lately, or
Sure. I just want to kind of give
especially
a quick
with your
spin-off of why I started the Manic Candice podcast.
Absolutely.
The title Manic is the nice medical term for crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got first diagnosed with bipolar disorder when I was 24, that word manic was thrown around with the doctors, and I was like, "What does this mean?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean I'm manic?
Right.
What do you mean I'm not aware of myself? I'm not aware of my behavior." And so I'm 28 now. So it's those 4 years was a journey of how to take care of myself.
Okay.
And the podcast is kind of my accountability for that, and sharing what I've learned to make my life better. And it's
Awesome.
it's the things that a lot of people don't want to do is take their medicine.
Yeah.
Go to sleep, exercise.
Going to sleep. Yeah. Those two right there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, medication I totally avoided, if you didn't notice that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I hate taking the medication. So, I mean, you're hitting all the right points.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just addressing.
I mean,
I'm
you
just
can
addressing
take your
my
medication, or you can have people force you to take your medication.
Yeah.
Which is something that you don't want to. That's the whole thing you don't want to go down is court order treatment.
Yeah, let's not do that.
No.
But yeah, those are hard things because what you said, but without saying is that's all about accountability.
It is, and that's responsibility too. It's about being an adult, and that's something that you can't instill in someone who's mentally ill. You have to teach them that, and for them to get it, it's up to them, and that's the hardest part. Is you want to make someone ride the bike without training wheels, but you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't as many people, if they were trying to, when I was going through my stuff before my mental breakdown, they could have helped me or whatever, but I wasn't even letting people in.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be willing to accept the help. And that's another thing that I'm trying to start with this podcast and everything, letting people know it's okay to be vulnerable, talk to somebody, tell somebody, and you'd be surprised. People are going to be like, I'm going through some shit just like that. We're all going through some shit. And the problem is they got us not talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because of sex, because of race, because of music, because of all these different reasons that social media, they figured out how to separate us and everything. You got them looking at the phone anytime, we're now anywhere in a store or anything. We're not talking to each other in a line. We're looking at our phone, and if someone says something to you, who are you talking? Why are you talking to me? They have programmed us to dislike each other. And this whole thing right here about mental health and wealth is us trying to it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay to be hurt, but let's talk to each other.
Yeah.
The more we talk to each other, we are all God is us. Mm-hmm. I am you, you are me. And the best way to do any of this shit is I'm gonna take care of me for you if you could just take care of you for me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So do you have on the last episode with Josh Mack from the MVGA podcast,
mm-hmm.
he we talked about any like coping mechanisms. Like I do, like I'm an Army vet, so I do like our training from like breathing and shooting and stuff like that. It's just like a step way of basically controlling your breathing and being able to attack that stuff. Do you have any like coping mechanisms that maybe you can share with like people to?
Yeah. Of course I have the podcast and I paint and I do the digital art and all that, but I noticed that if I do something with my hands that is simple and fun, I figured it out. It's slime.
Oh.
So there's okay.
Do you remember GAC?
No, there are these. I don't mean.
I'm so old.
Your face. So I hate to bring this up, but Kim Kardashian.
My favorite.
Yeah, no, my favorite too.
If you follow my blog, I don't have a blog.
Anyway. Well, like she came up on my feed. I don't follow her, but like, matter. Yeah. Her children are into this slime company.
Okay.
And I thought that I saw something neat, and I was like, it's scented, and it looks like something like Christmas. It looks like candy. It looks like a cake. It looks like something cool. I want to play with it. Spend my $15.
Artistic, something fun.
Exactly. I appreciate the hustle. It came in the mail. My stress was I was taking it out on this thing. I was smelling it. It was such a sensory experience, and then like I felt myself calmer.
You know why?
Why?
Because you were focused on that right there. This is a breakthrough we just had on the last episode. So him and I were talking, and what we both do in a different way is we start counting. He would be doing this, and I'm sitting there doing some sort of math or something in my head, counting or just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1, 2, 3, like doing all that. It's because once, like he said, once we're in that moment, that task that we have is the only thing we're thinking about.
Right.
So it puts everything that we were stressed out about behind us. So if you take that, and if you can like put yourself in that moment when you're having a rough moment, that's when you have a breakthrough. You're like, okay, I'm gonna break this cycle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just learned that from talking to him. So I'm just so happy that we're like doing this shit real. Like, but yeah, like you guys, like it's the biggest thing about our issues is our perspective.
Yes.
So when you're looking at this problem, right, you may be on a one-dimensional plane looking at it, right? You're like, I don't know how to get out of here, because to you on this flat plane, it's forever and there's no ending to it, right? Because you don't see an ending. You just see a flat plane, like this goes forever. But if you just like take a step out and look at it, you could just, if you could see down upon it, you can see you just walk forward or any direction and you're off of the board in a little bit. So it's all about removing yourself and taking that creative, especially like artists, using your creativity to problem solve.
Exactly. And it's just like for example, I'm working on 5 paintings simultaneously right now.
Right.
And I will leave something alone if I feel like I'm not painting it right, whatever that means, or if it's not coming out right, or if I don't like the way it looks.
If you're not feeling it.
If I'm not feeling it, I'll step away from it for 5 hours, and then maybe something tragic will go on. Maybe I'll have a fight with my mom, or maybe I'll smoke a pack of like really nice weed, or like I'll score somehow.
Yeah.
I'll come back and I'll bring that energy to the painting, and it's just absolutely what it's meant to be.
I've done that. So like I've done that during different times of editing videos and stuff. And even like the universe will be like, the internet's not working or the program's not working. I'm like, it's not the time for this right now.
Yeah.
It's time for me to learn to be able to be calm and wait for the time. Just like embrace the fire that's happening around you. Sip your tea. And just, the fire will burn out, or you will become fire itself.
Right.
And help it burn everything down. So
that's a good way to see it.
So you're either going to chill out and like figure out how to get out of the fire, or you're going to become the fire itself and become part of the problem.
Nice.
Boom. Dropping bombs on here. like with your podcast,
Right.
what have you been focusing on lately? Discussing like exactly like, can you explain a little bit more about the mental health aspect of what you're doing?
So the mental health aspect of what I do,
Are you your experience, or are you talking to
it's 100% my experience. I'm not
Nice.
here to diagnose somebody. I'm not here to have encourage self-diagnosis. I'm not here to replace a doctor. I'm not here to
Okay,
replace
yeah.
doctor advice. I just share my experience of like my frustrations with my medicine, what a mania is really like, what my thoughts are like, what happened during my mania that caused me to get my diagnosis, like what it's like to be bipolar, like what it's like to deal with a family that doesn't see mental illness as as an illness. They see it as like
Yeah.
a character moral flaw. I talk about different things like dating with bipolar. I talk about I also don't just focus solely on bipolar. I kind of play on the manic aspect, manic
Yeah.
Candice. So I do have episodes like what I wish I knew before I was 20. I have episodes like Tinder profiles, Tinder dates, friends with benefits,
Yeah.
silly stuff like that. Where
That's no, it's good. That's like
where I
that's
really
relatable things that people. Yeah.
where I really rant and it is relatable and like it's worldwide. I see all the dots on my RSS feed just like popping up, and
I'm slacking.
I
I
have
haven't
friends
looked.
in Belgium. I have friends in like Germany,
That's what's up.
Canada. Like,
V Gates in Germany. I speak German.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
I don't. But I've made so many friends. Oh, like West Hollywood.
That's what's up. Yeah, and I love that. That's the whole point of this. Like this podcast, your podcast, all this stuff is like talking about the human experience and everything, and trying to
Yeah, and people are interested, and like
because we're all fucking struggling.
yeah, we are, and that's what the number one thing that people say is like, I'm happy that you are honest. And like another fun thing about my podcast, it's like how you say, I fuck up, and like I'm not perfect, and that's the thing about your podcast. So with
Yeah.
me, I like to sing. I'll bust out because I have music playing in the background.
Hell
That's
yeah.
another thing that's unique about my podcast is I will have a full playlist.
Nice.
Like I'll have my stuff on YouTube, but it's all like demonetized. I don't care as long as it's reaching an audience.
Yeah, dope. Yeah, we're not really monetized anyway. Like we don't even have enough followers.
Yes, you are.
Oh, we're monetized.
Definitely are.
We're monetized. Please help support. The link is I don't know. The Cash App is open. Sorry, two-tone to superstar.
I advertise my Cash App, and I'm gonna move to Patreon.
So we do have a Patreon. I don't really have stuff on there. I need to build a team out so we can actually start putting content on pay, like to help like with like paywalls and stuff like that. And it'll be fairly inexpensive and stuff, like maybe $1 to $5 a month or something.
Yeah, I find that
maybe
$5 seems to be like the golden.
Yeah. So we'll look at that because I have a lot more stuff coming up. And I'm gonna play that real close to the chest though.
Okay.
But we're gonna go ahead and thank you for sharing the mental health stuff. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the last segment, which is Plug Talk, which is all about promotion of what we have going on and
nice
things that we have in future. We'll talk on. All right. So, Plug Talk is all about promotion. Like, can you tell everybody where they can find you, how to listen, how to follow, how to.
You can stream the Manic Candice podcast on all major streaming platforms: YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Amazon, Samsung Podcasts, AM, FM, anywhere that you can find podcasts.
If you just podcast and it's Manic Candice podcast,
the Manic Candice podcast.
The Manic Candice podcast. The Manic Candice podcast. The Manic Candice podcast. Now I repeated it to you. It's stuck in your brain. Now go find it. So when do you post regularly or just whenever you can?
I have an episode once a week.
Once a week? Mm-hmm. Are you on any certain days or?
Well, yesterday I tried to go 7 days from the day before. Sometimes I miss like a couple days, but like it's usually due to like, life circumstance,
mental
like
health,
your mental health. I gotta
which
take
is
a day
okay.
off. Yeah. But like it'll be like 7 days between, so that averages out 4 episodes a month.
Nice. Yeah. So just keep. We're all talking about mental health and everything. So just like make sure you follow.
Yes.
Hit the follow, hit the notifications and stuff. So like just like you guys and you have stuff come up in life. Sometimes some of us that are putting content out have things come up in life. So hit those notifications so you can know when we drop the stuff. We'll definitely do more. I'll try to like maybe do some sort of collab with.
Yeah. How about
with
you
our
come on my podcast?
Yeah, I can do that. Absolutely. We'll get that taken care of. For the Healing Chefs, do you have anything else you wanted to promote, or do you have
You
anything
can
coming
follow
up?
me on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
I am at MDMAQ, restarting the follow count. So just go ahead and hit that if you're into art, pop art.
Absolutely, that shit's dope.
Thanks.
Maybe I'll get something from you sometime. I don't know if I'm gonna stay at this apartment or whatnot, or go on some other place, but I want to get some art from you because
Let me know. I got
like your
18 by 24 posters
Yeah.
and stuff like that, or anything that you see can be custom made into something.
Nice. Yeah. We'll stay in touch because
Yeah.
that's exactly what the Healing Chefs is all about, is trying to like have like this octopus kind of a thing of support for artists to get out their vision and stuff like that. And I love art, so I want to like be a part of everybody. I want your art on my shit. Like,
Yeah, I want to plug a business if that's cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ernie from Just Blaze Smoke Shop on 12th Street in Camelback.
12th Street in Camelback. Go see.
They allow artists to spray paint in the back section so you can get your practice reps in, because not a lot of people know how to spray paint, or a lot of people who want to get in spray paint in the valley, they don't have a place to practice.
Yeah, that shit, you get in trouble and shit.
You'll get in trouble, or you'll mess up someone's wall and they'll paint over it and you'll make you sad.
Yeah.
So just have a
That's
place
dope.
in the back room. It's hot outside. Well, it's cooling down, but you know you want to get your rounds in. So you
I used to do that shit at Joanne's. Shout out to anybody who knows. Like, I used to go to like Joanne's or something like that, and then like immediately walk in there to like the paint markers.
Yeah, well, Ernie, the owner, used to be a tagger.
Start slapping up shit in there.
Yeah,
in there.
and then he opened his own smoke shop and then gave back to the community. So.
And then in the army, when I was in Iraq or whatever, I would get up under like our bunkers that we're supposed to hide in case like mortars came. I was throwing up pieces up under there because no one could see it, so no one would like paint over it. But I could be like, "Go check that shit out."
That is so.
That's
cool.
so awesome that they are giving someone or people an avenue to go out and play around with stuff. And
yeah,
have
so you don't
fun
have to
with
go on the overpass or like.
Yeah, that's dope. Shout out to that. Man, fucking shout out. I
Just
love that.
Blaze.
Yeah, I like maybe one day I would like to maybe put up like a wall park.
Yeah.
Right? Just let people at certain times just have pieces up, and then they have a certain amount of time on that wall, and then it's someone else's turn.
In the summer, like if I were to like hop on that train, I would do like a 24-hour in the summer, but like hire like a bunch of security.
Yeah.
Have like a little thing. Well, I'm not like a smoke section, but we're not going to say anything.
I would just have it maybe like an outdoor like park. Well, I don't know. I kind of want it in my backyard.
There was this house on Garfield where they let anyone tag it, and now they boarded it up. It was downtown.
Yeah, I don't know. I would maybe. I don't know, whoever I'm dating may not like it, but whenever I'm doing that, if I'm we're single, but I would like to have like artists like paint the inside wall if I have a house, like like it's not causing anybody else any problems. Like you're not painting the outside and making it look crazy on the street, but once you come into the backyard, it's just pieces.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing that Phoenix has, the only thing that Phoenix has is their artists. We don't have a championship. We don't have anyone except like we don't have a soccer team. I mean, we have a Phoenix Rising, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But like we have Jordan Sparks, but that was like when.
Yeah.
You know, so we have our artists, like 2 artist women. They got plugged with NFL. So 2 local artists, Ashley Macias and La Morena Art, they painted the tickets, they painted the ball, they and like all the merch.
That's what's up.
And like the cups and everything.
Yeah.
So shout out to them for representing the Valley. But we need more avenues of support for artists because that's all we got right now.
Yeah, and that's kind of my goal with this over time is just to help other people get out their vision. We'll see how this goes. But for the rest of the Healing Chefs, what we have coming up, like I was telling people, I'm an Alabama fan, diehard Roll Tide. So next Saturday they play LSU. Every time they play LSU, I make gumbo. So I will be. You can come get it if you want it, but it is what it is: chicken, shrimp, andouille sausage. So I'm not changing it. But I make it. It's fire. I make it down south stuff. I make everything from scratch. I even make my stock. I'm not gonna tell y'all how I do it, but I do it. So there's gonna be that, and then next weekend for our guests and stuff, we have me trying to figure out how to use technology, and I definitely just hit gallery instead of calendar.
I'm going back to school for tech.
Oh yeah, I was talking to a friend. She was trying to tell me, like, teach me some stuff, and maybe I'll start listening to other people. Like, I mean, sit down with and learn some more. But next weekend, Origin 51 interview, and then Gigi's Kitchen as well. So I'll be in touch with them over the week to get all that set up and everything. Tonight, if you're watching right now, tonight we're going to go ahead and go live and play Call of Duty or something like that. If you want to play, tap in with me. I'll give you my name and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to leave from here and go try to get a webcam so I can actually stream my face and me smoking, not just the video game going and my voice. So you can see my face and all the stupid faces I make when I lose. All right, but thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you for having me again.
We're gonna keep tapped in. I'm gonna jump on your podcast, and we'll probably bring you back on at some point in time here because we love bringing everybody
That'd
back.
Be fantastic.
And we never tell all the stories. So, all right. So, love you all. Remember to tap in, smoke up, trip out. Love you. We're out.